Today on Tricrow Studios, we're going to talk about why you shouldn't buy a Floyd Rose Special. So basically, this video is just for anyone who is looking to upgrade like a licensed Floyd Rose, or just basically anything, and you're looking and you're seeing that, hey, Floyd Rose Specials, it says Floyd Rose, it's made by Floyd Rose, it's cheap, let's get it. Don't do that, don't make that mistake. So I'm going to give you a few reasons why you shouldn't buy this, and hopefully it'll help you out and allow you to either grab like a Gotoh, which with the Gotohs, you have to actually widen the spaces for the poles, or you have to use the existing poles, which is not recommended. So keep that in mind as well. Or if you want to grab something like a Schaller, like the Lockmeisters, or just getting a Floyd Rose original. So surprisingly, the first thing that I want to talk about isn't the fact that, you know, this may get out of tune quite easily, because on the contrary, this particular Floyd Rose Special that I had on a Jackson Kelly worked quite well. But what I want to talk about is the Tremolo Arm. So basically, with the Tremolo Arm, this is you kind of get used to this on Floyd Roses, where it's, you know, after you use it and stuff like that, it gets a little loose. You have to tighten it again. On Floyd Rose Specials, what often happens is this part at the bottom becomes loose, and you can't really tighten it up top because, you can kind of see this here, I'm tightening up here, and this down here is still turning, because this needs to be tightened. What happens quite often is that this always has to get tightened. So basically what I found was I would have to be tightening the Tremolo Arm probably once every time I used it. So basically if I used it for a day, I would have to tighten the Tremolo Arm. In order to do that, you have to kind of hold this up top here, put your hand inside the cavity of the body, and then tighten it. Well, again, it's shoddy material, or lesser material I should say, and it happens all the time. So it's very inconvenient to actually use it. Next up, and this is a main concern for me when it came to this Floyd Rose Special on my Kelly. Again, shoddy material. It's not really rigid material, I would say. Rigid might not be the right word, but still, it's not very strong material. So what ends up happening is, over time, I barely even had this on that guitar I haven't had that guitar for a year yet, and it was brand new with this Floyd Rose Special on it. So basically, the little, I don't know what they're called here, the little blocks that are inside here, like the little insert blocks, that actually hold your string in, well, they become damaged, and they no longer will hold the string in. So that was one major reason why I never played my Kelly. I got a lot of comments like, why don't you ever play your Kelly? That Kelly's really cool. I put bone breakers in it, and it's got a kill switch, and it looks awesome. Why don't you ever play it? It's because I could barely hold strings in here. And I have bought the actual like extra parts for this, the extra saddles, the extra screws, basically everything, and it just keeps happening with these. So again, shoddy material. The next thing we're going to talk about are the saddles. So you can actually get little grooves worn into the saddles. Not too big of a deal, but when you're actually putting the screws in the back to tighten in the little blocks, if you turn that too tight, which you kind of know, but then again, if you're new to it, or if you're kind of in a rush, or if the blocks are kind of wearing, you might think, you know what, I'm going to tighten it a little extra. Well, number one, the screws can actually become stripped, and even worse, the saddles on the inside where you screw it in, they will become stripped as well. I bought a 7-string that had a Floyd Rose Special, which still has it on it. It has a tremolo, which is not a good idea for a 7-string. Which I'm thinking about upgrading it to a Floyd Rose Original at the end of the week. I'm not sure yet. But I bought that, and basically the person who sold it to me had stripped the screw and stripped the saddle itself. I had to buy a new saddle set, I had to buy new screws. I basically bought everything that you put on the inside of the Floyd Rose Special, and again, still having problems with it. So continuing on the shoddy materials that are used with the Floyd Rose Special, we're going to talk about the potential here of the, I think it's, what is that, knife edge? But basically the slots here where it goes on to the poles. It's kind of hard to see, but there is, and again, this was barely used, there's a little bit of wear on the little grooves here. So what ends up happening over time as you're using it, because of the tension and everything that goes on there, this gets worn, like one side gets worn more than the other, what have you, and that's when you start to see that it doesn't actually return to the appropriate position, which sucks, because at that point you're scared to use the Floyd Rose itself, the whole reason that you're using it, because even with your proper balancing, even if you have this completely flat and flush, it's properly in tune, the moment that you bring it down or bring it back up, something goes sharp, something goes flat. So again, you're looking at the base of the actual tremolo system itself, because it's shoddy material, wears down over time, and it then starts to not stay in tune. So that's basically it. I really hope that if you watch this video, you're not just looking at, wow, Floyd Rose Specials are cheaper, and screw this guy. I don't like the fact that he's not liking the Floyd Rose Special. But I really hope that if you are looking to upgrade your license, whether it be like one of the newer Jackson license ones, or just a no-name license, the old Jackson ones were made by Schaller. Excellent. But hopefully you'll consider not buying a Floyd Rose Special and either getting a Floyd Rose Original, which is what I put on my Kelly, and it's freaking amazing. A Gotoh 1996T, which again, in order to use that, you actually have to widen the holes in the body of your guitar and then put the new poles in that way. So that might be a setback for you. It has been for me. I bought 4 Gotohs. Check the video. I have installed 1, and I haven't widened the poles. I'm using the existing poles. Or, you know, if you want to get a Schaller Lockmeister, I can tell you that the parts that actually come in a Floyd Rose Original are made by Schaller. So hopefully this helps you in not buying that. Buy something that has good materials and that'll actually last you a long time. Anyway, thanks for watching.